Peter Cox throwing his hat into the ring for a board seat at Fairfax. The spot is up for grabs at the company's AGM, which kicks off in Melbourne next month. Mr. Cox reckons he can offer media experience, digital understanding, independence and credibility. The Fairfax board, though, unanimously opposes his election. Has told shareholders he doesn't have the relevant management and board experience. Well, let's go to the man himself, Professor Cox from our Sydney CBD studio. Peter, warm welcome to you. They have kind of come out swinging off the back of what's been a pretty brazen and bold move on your part. What's your reaction to little direct management experience, limited relevant digital business experience, no public company board experience?
Well, on the first two, Carson, I obviously have a lot of experience, 35 years of experience of only working in the media industry, working for companies, with companies, advising, consulting. I've been advising on the digital from 1990 onwards, right? So I've got tons of experience in both areas. The third area they raise is about not having board experience. Hell, I think that's an advantage. What we have today is people who are professional board sitters, and Fairfax has their share, a whole lot of them. They sit on many boards, committees, subcommittees. What time have they got, let alone do any of them have the expertise to driving a difficult business as Fairfax is today?
Peter, are you a team player, yes or no?
Look, I am a team player, but I have to tell you in this case, this is heads-on with the chairman. I'm not concerned with the rest of the board. It's very simple. The chairman has been there on the board now for nearly 10 years. He's been chairman for 3 years. In his time, the share price has gone from $5 to about 44 cents.
Well, this is it. And that rolls off the tongue and it's undeniable. But if you burn your bridges because you're at proverbial fisticuffs with him and you couldn't be in the same room and be civil, that would be the concern.
I have no problem with being civil, but the problem is this, you know, having all those people who get on amiably and make up a very nice board, where's that taken the company? It's driven it to the bottom. They need somebody on the board who's got the expertise to be able to question them, to be able to say, are these figures put up by management right or not?
You are not one to go down without a fight. I want to get your sense on where the support in the Insto fraternity now sits, Peter. Are you going to go and do the lobbying now, the time available? Are you confident that come that AGM in Melbourne you'll have the numbers?
Look, I'm not confident. Of course, hardly anybody's ever got up in history in Australia of corporate life opposing a sitting board. So it's very difficult to get up. But the institutions have 85, the top 20 shareholders have 85% of the shares. The top 7 shareholders have 55% of the shares. I think it's up to the institutions. They've lost a lot of money for their investors, for all those super funds who've invested in funds that have put into Fairfax. It's time they stood up. I'm preparing an action detail of what I would do on the board to turn this company around.
You took that next question out of my mouth. I was going to say top of the agenda would be what? Day one, if you were on that board as a non-exec director, what would you be pushing for?
Well, firstly, I have to see what all the numbers are on it. I build my own models, of course, about Fairfax, but there's nothing like seeing what their real numbers. You have to address each of the issues. You know, the radio stations, whether one should probably get rid of the radio stations. They haven't been successful in that, and look at it. I want to try and get the Sydney Morning Herald and the Age to be more competitive again. Murdoch's killed them over the last 10 years and they've lost market share. You look at the Financial Review. The Australian has absolutely killed the Financial Review, and it's losing money now. All their papers are going to lose money, right? So it needs urgent action to be taken. There is no silver bullet that can be done overnight, but I believe that there are a number of strategies that can be put into place that can enable Fairfax to survive. As I say, save Fairfax.
Just walk me through briefly, Peter, steps you can take at an AGM, your understanding of that process, you know, questions from the floor. Is it the moment that you can seize hold of and actually, you know, even use that room to marshal support?
Look, I think it's difficult to do it at the AGM. There's 35,000 shareholders, only a limited number go to the thing. The thing is, with such a concentration of institutions, you know, as I say, top 20 with 85%, that means the decision will have been made by the institutions and their boards and senior executives with what to do with their votes and their proxy votes earlier in the week. So the actual meeting itself, I don't think will alter much. It's up to the institutions. If they they want to make a change and they want to see some media experience. As one of my friends said to me when sending me a note, he said, hey, this is a novel idea. Fancy putting a media guy on a media board.
Yeah, the irony not lost on that point. Just a brief final thought. The largest shareholder, Gina Reinhardt, not putting forward any motion against Roger Corbett, let alone kind of expressing publicly, at this point at least, concerns on strategy. What does that tell you?
Well, Gina has a lot of the similar concerns as I do. The place has been run abominably for the last 10 years. And, the thing about Gina is I've never spoken to Gina. I haven't met Gina. I would hope, like all other shareholders, that she would give me her support in the vote because, we have to start with one. I mean, it's very difficult, but if I can get on the board and a couple of us, and then perhaps I can draw other people then who are highly sceptical about having anything to do with Fairfax, which many think is going to go out the back door. If I can draw then some other good people onto the board, perhaps we can turn this company around.
Peter, are you putting your money where your mouth is? Are you on the share register? If not, why not?
Well, I'm on the share register. I bought the shares to go on, but by no means. I mean, I agree with Gina. She's got the skin in the game. Look, when they refused to have Gina on the board, when she had nearly 20% at one stage, can you imagine how hostile they are to somebody like me who's going to question the chairman, question him about what the strategies are, what the decisions they're making on the board? Yeah, he's not going to be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And, so if Gina can't do it, it makes it hard for me, but I'm willing to give it a go, Carson.
As you've been speaking, the shares have been losing ground. I'm not saying you talk them down, Peter, but that's the trend. Not our friend today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Our friend and indeed media expert, the media economist, earlier, Peter Cox there. Fairfax shares trading at 43.7 cents. That's a fall of 0.7%.
Great interview. And where's Gina? Does she support Peter? But the shares, down 0.7% at the moment, just below 44.
I was going to say, worrying about the mines as well, you might.
Yes, there's other worries now. In this day and age, actually, mining